All right, so Thursday afternoon, just got home. UPS had a package waiting for me. There's the replacement bearing kit for my axles from Moser Engineering. So now that will replace this, which was defective. There's the axle. Getting ready to load up and go to Fastlane. Oh, side note, my daughter got me these new red Nikes for Christmas. Boom, figured I'd break them in today. Ready? So now we got a new bearing, thanks to Logan at Fastlane Motorsports.
Yep, it's there. Good to go.
All right, back home. Got axle repaired at Fastlane earlier. So now I'm working on this housing in here, if you will. Got a little piece of sandpaper here so I can get in here. I've been working it. You can see in here where it's cleaned up now, except for the groove. There's that little groove right here. Kind of see it right there in the middle. And what I'm gonna do now that I got it cleaned up, I just take sandpaper and you kind of go in here, work it back and forth like this to clean up the area. So now the area is clean. I don't want to take too much material off. I don't want it to be too big and it leak around the O-ring. But now I've got to fill in this little groove that's inside the housing in here. So to do that, I'm gonna take some JB Weld, mix it up. I'm gonna smear it in here real thin, let it dry, and then when it dries, go back in here and sand that down smooth, and it should fill in that little spot there. We should be good to go. Once it's fully dry, and slip the axle in it. It's a little trick by my buddy Melvin over there at Fastlane Motorsports. Boom. Gotta love that old school trick. Not a lot of young people know about stuff like that. I didn't know about it, but he told me it makes perfect sense. So there you go. I'm gonna work on that now. Fill in that little groove. Take care of that. Once it's smooth and then it starts looking like the rest of the housing up in here, and I can slip the axle back in it. There we go. The light decided it was ready to get out. All right, let's see if I can do this repair with one hand while I try to film this. So basically I've got my JB Weld concoction here. Take a razor blade, I can get that in there like so. It's gonna be real thin, doesn't take much. Go in here and see if we can minimize that. Get my light a little better here. See if we can get that right in there like so. There. Groove there. See if I can get some up here. A little bit more. Biggest concern here is making sure there's no groove there for the oil to slip by the O-ring and cause a leak. So probably no perfect way to do it. It's just the way I'm gonna do it. So that shows up decent on there. Looks like that might have filled in most of it. So let's see here. So filled in the groove. There's not really much on this side, just kind of at the bottom and up that side there. So what I'll do, I'll go in here and clean this up just a little bit. See if I got a rag around here somewhere. This edge right here, like so. So there's that. Okay, kind of got that in there. Obviously it's not perfect. I might take my razor and smooth it out just a little bit more, because all I really want to do is get in that groove. I don't care about outside of that groove, but it's getting better. Just have to have a minimum so when I go in there to sand it, to make sure I don't have much to sand. But there you go. Get that all dried up and ready. All right, so I've gone in here and smoothed it out a little bit more with my razor blade. It's filled in the groove. You can kind of see the line still there, but the good news is it's flush now. So that's the GB weld in there. See if I can get a little closer. That's filling in that little crack there, or gap, or gouge, or whatever you want to call it. And so once that fully dries, I'll go in here and sand it real light and make sure this little extra on the edges there is gone. But pretty much the grooves should be filled in and level with the rest of the piece now. So when I slide in my O-ring, it shouldn't leak. But I've got to let this dry and cure out before I could get in there and sand it. Once I sand it, I'll be able to slide the axle in and button this insulation up. All right. Know what's going on here. So the O-ring is just starting to go by there. So we're going to drive it all the way down. Just want to make sure everything's in there fine, right? So you get your splines lined up with your axle. You start to drive it in real easy, and then we'll start driving in the rest of the way here. Drive it in all nice and easy to you're where you need to go, and then we'll be there. All right, got the axle drove in all the way. This is the back plate from my brake calipers, and then this is the actual axle clip retainer. So this goes on, and then this goes on the front side, which holds it in. And then now I've got to put my bolts through, which is here. Put the bolts through from the back side, I put the nuts on, and then that actually holds the axle in. So get that done, then put the brakes back on, should be good to go. All right, got the rotor on, the caliper, the brake pads, caliper bracket. So that's what it looks like there. You'll notice I put a lug nut on here. That's to keep the rotor straight while you're putting everything back together. It just makes it a little easier. So there it is, all back together. Now I'm getting ready to put the wheel back on it. And I think what I'm gonna do, because we're doing these burnouts tomorrow, I'm gonna pull those Bogarts off with the slicks on them. And they're gonna be the victim for tomorrow, or Sunday, because today's Friday. And I'm gonna save my nice 265s for another day. But yeah, these Bogart with the Hoosiers, I never have been too impressed with these Hoosier slicks. I'm probably gonna put some Hoosier drag radials on here. Might as well just burn these off and call it a day. You can see they got plenty of tread in them though. Plenty of tread, but that's okay. Maybe they'll smoke. We'll find out tomorrow. Yeah. tapping the hole for the airline fitting. Basically, I'm putting it in my air-to-air intercooler. It's got to be between the turbo and the throttle body. I can put it in my pipes, but I didn't think I had enough material to put the fitting, keep it from blowing out under boost. So I'm putting it here. Drill a little hole here, my air-to-air intercooler. Got the pipe out of the way so I get to it. And nice, right here I can stick my vacuum cleaner here and suck out all the little shavings. I tried to go real slow drilling, get all my shavings to come out here on the bottom, but there's still probably a couple little shavings on the inside. So now, got this in here. I can get this tap out and vacuum it out. Put my air fitting in here. This is the fitting that goes to the bottom of the wastegates. And it's the one where it pressurizes from the turbos to the bottom of each wastegate. So this fitting will come off, it'll go to a T, and it'll T to the bottom of each wastegate. So there you go. Just give you an idea what that looks like. There you go. So it's tapped all the way through. I will go in here and stick my vacuum cleaner in there and vacuum that out. This is my air-to-air intercooler. And yeah, I got the wastegates on right here, and then I'll run a line from here that goes up to the map sensor knob, boost controller part of it, and there's a fitting. It might be hard to see, it's back here on the back of the wastegate, and that will come off and tee in down here and to the other side. All right, just to give you a finished product, there's the right angle fitting installed right there, and then the push lock line goes over here to a T fitting. T fitting runs up and over, and you can kind of see it goes right over there to the bottom of that wastegate, and then this one runs up and over kind of behind the radiator hose there, so it's out of the way, and then over to that wastegate. It's kind of hard to see because it's tied up in there. Let's see if I can get this way. Over to the wastegate there, and plugs in on the bottom. So teed off the bottom of the wastegates, runs down to there, and right here where the pipe comes off the turbo for pressure. All right, now to hook the pipe back up and then start working on the top side. All right, you know it's nice when you hook everything up, you don't have any leaks. So I got my bottle turned on all the way. There's the bottle pressure there, and here's the pressure going through the system. I just talked to Caleb to verify what kind of pressure we need to run. He said probably 60 plus, 60 to 70. So I got it on about 65 pounds. So there we go. Here's the line. Line drops down, goes under the carpet, runs up through here, goes through the firewall. What's nice is because I don't run a clutch anymore, I actually had a hole in the firewall from where the clutch was. I ran the lines out and around. Here's my solenoids here. They're not mounted, but they're there temporarily. You see all the T's and the lines and crap here. So everything runs down here to the wastegates. You'll see the top of the wastegates here. Two fittings there, one on the bottom. And then runs over to this side, this wastegate. There's one on the top here, one on the bottom. And where I had to tap, I actually tapped into my air-to-air intercooler. So right here, and I actually tapped on the other side because this boost controller, it's a real joy. All these damn attachments they want you to do, which is kind of a aggravation if you want to ask me, because you got to run all these lines in the car. You go in here so you can see it. So they want you to run a line from the tank out, tee it into here, because I got two wastegates, had to put another tee here and run it out. on the exhaust side here. Tee it in here, see? You can tee these together if you have 2 wastegates, which I did. And it says connect anywhere from the compressor side to the boost pipes, which I did. That's right there on the air-to-air intercooler. But then one thing I missed here, it says for your map sensor, which you run a line out, which I did. This other one says you gotta have another line that goes back. So there's a line from the tank out, there's a line from the gate out, then there's another line from the map sensor out. That's 3 lines coming from inside the car back out. And this one says connect anywhere between compressor side to before the throttle body. So I just chose the same kind of thing down by the air-to-air. So now I got everything hooked up, no leaks. It says you can blow into here, see if you got any leaks. I didn't have any leaks. Hooked up CO2, turned on, no leaks. Now I'm ready to test the system. And of course it's starting to rain now, just my luck today. It is Saturday the 18th, I believe. So anyway, I got all this. Get all this crap out of the way. Slide the seat back. And I might need to get in here and adjust that gauge a little bit. Anyway, all right, so turn this on, and controller's gonna come on here. I'm gonna get my instructions because there's a test they want you to do. All right, so it says if you need to manually activate controller test it, run through the cycle, all you do is press the down button, and this says the down button is here, so we'll press it. And there you go. It immediately went to 10 pounds. Sweet. You'll see the letter A come up on the screen. Control start pulsing solenoids, finish, press the down button, and it will turn the test activation off. So, all right. And now it switched back to 0. Perfect. So successful. Initial test, went to 10 pounds. Good to go. So now, we can go over here and go through our instructions and start setting it up. Main screen, press the mode button, the top button here. Looks like I want to launch at 10 pounds, sure. And then we can start going through here and setting it up. So looks like I'm ready. So if it wasn't raining right now, you can tell by the glass with all these water spots on it, just started raining. So I gotta get the car off the jack stands. Maybe I can go try it. I don't know what it's gonna do, but maybe the test will be driving it to Fastlane tomorrow for this Burnouts for Wyatt. So we'll see what happens. Got the car where I can drive it. Cruising around. Everything seems to look good. Of course it's raining. Got the windshield wipers on. Not good when you got slicks on the car for tomorrow for the burnout. But you deal with what you can when you're trying to test and get things done at the last minute. Good thing is the CO2 did not leak, had no leaks, everything looks good so far. All right, boost controller there. Let's see if we're gonna roll into a little bit. All right, looks like she's making some boost. Winner, winner, chicken dinner.